we're here today with the 718 GT4. We've just developed this kit as an addition to the ongoing Porsche development that we've been doing throughout the years. This particular kit uses a three-way adjustable external canister with a hose. The hose has got a dry brake so you can install them into the cabin, no problem. Mainspring, finalised the mainspring just through test driving. Helper spring, height adjustable, so you can do all the corner weighting, all the heights that you want to set it to, your desired ride height. We use a progressive bump stop, a 22mm high displacement shaft, and the rebound adjustment is on the top of the damper. This particular car comes with uniball top mounts already installed to the vehicle, so we've just adapted to go onto that, so it's a cost saving for the customer and it keeps the original Porsche product. Okay, we're under the bonnet compartment now. Again, external canisters, three-way adjustable. These are mounted in this position here and likewise on the other side, similar. Rebound adjustment on the top of the damper, high and low speed compression as we've got on the rear. Original Porsche top mount. The original top mount actually has camber adjustment built in, so there's no need for us to make a sliding top mount. Okay, so on the rear it was slightly different to the earlier 981 Boxster and Cayman, so we had to produce a new tube. The front tube is actually very, very similar to a 991, which we've already got in our application list. The rear tube is totally different. This tube allows us to finalise the ride height, get the ride height to where the customer may want it, whether that be a standard ride height or a lowered ride height. In this case it's lowered. The spring rates we've defined front and rear for use of road and a mixture of track, so it's comfortable on the road, still works on the track, and of course with the three-way ability you've got the ability to tune the damper rate as much as you want. On the rear here the hose goes up inside the engine bay and you can access the canisters in the boot, which we'll show you in a second. So in the boot we've got two canisters, one for each damper. High and low speed compression damping is adjusted here. This canister has a floating piston inside which separates the gas and the oil, so a gas pressurized monotube damper. On the top of the damper we've got rebound, all independently adjustable, not one of them affects the other. You can also see the solid top mount that Porsche fit as standard. This is the dry brake hose that we use. This connector allows us to disconnect the canister with no loss of gas or fluid. It allows us to install the canisters inside the vehicle or under the boot compartment in the front, utilising an original grommet so there's no cutting of large holes in the car. It's easily accessible for the driver. So we're here building some strut rods. This is the construction exactly the same as what we're using in the Porsche. 22mm shaft, which is a high displacement shaft. Each individual shim changes the characteristic of the damping between compression and rebound. So there's millions of combinations, whatever you want to do. These settings are designed in conjunction with various different pistons that we use. Testing's finalised on the road. If anything needs to be changed, we can change it just by changing the size of the shim, bleed hole in the piston, calibration of the canister. Okay, so these are the shims that we use inside the shock absorber. There's hundreds of different size shims. The thickness of the shim is critical. So for instance, if you wanted to change the characteristic of the rebound, you can change the thickness of the shim and that would show up on the dyno and you'd feel that on the car. Final part of the process is torquing up the nut and the jet. This is very important. If it's too tight, it will change the damping characteristic again. So we torque every one up individually. Paul's putting a tube together. This is the gland, pushing the gland in. This is held in with a snap ring. Once this process is done, it then gets bled on the vacuum bleeder. Every shot goes across the vacuum bleeder. So there's no possibility of air being trapped inside the damper. This is the the dyno, where everything's calibrated. Each shock absorber goes across the dyno to make sure that the operation's correct, the calibration's correct, and they all match a date on graph, so that we know each one is the same when it leaves the building.